Hi, I'm Tammy.
And I'm Cindy, and we're the Hoosier sisters in search of Forrest Fenn's treasure.
Today we're going to talk about the first stanza in Forrest's poem. I'm going to read it. As I have gone alone in there, and with my treasures bold, I can keep my secret where, and hint of riches new and old.
And I just want to say that I believe this sentence, the first stanza, is not part of the 9 clues. I know some people believe that each sentence is a clue, but I don't believe that. And for one, in the New Zealand radio interview, Forrest said the first clue in the poem is where warm waters hold. So he's telling us that is the first clue. And it has to go in order. He said that they're contiguous. And he said that in Moby Dickens. And in the CBC As It Happens radio program in 2013, he said the interviewer said, well, some of the clues maybe are things that people locally would know. You say, begin at where warm waters hold and take it in the canyon down, not far, but too far to walk, put in below the home of ground. That seems like a couple of clues to me. And Finn says, sounds like 3 or 4 to me. So that tells you that each sentence is not a clue, that the 9 clues are mixed up in there.
Okay. And I just wanted to explain what I know about clues and hints. This is in a childlike way. I have done treasure hunts for my 2 grandsons for the last 2 years. Each time we get to see them, it's twice a year. And so when I'm making, I have to make poems for them. And so I make a stanza. I learned it from Forrest. I make a stanza, and then I give it to them. They have to take 2 minutes to think about it, and then they're off, okay? And so if they can't decide, if they can't figure out what that clue is, and mind you, sorry, it has to be specific to them, or they won't have no idea, if I were to say places around our city. But we're right here in the house, and that's where, in the yard, and that's where we do our treasure hunts. So if they can't give the clue that I've made them in a very, very simple little stanza, most important part there is rhyming. And so then I will give them a hint. To me, a clue is big, a hint is small.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that the first stanza is a hint, has a hint in it, but I think it is also fact. It's talking about his special place, that he went in there alone and he took his treasure. And then also I talked about before that the hint part to me is when he says, hint of riches new and old, and I still think the new and old is a hint to New Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Maybe Forrest would even say the first stanza is a hint and not a clue.
He might, because I think that in there is very important. I think that we should not throw that out and ignore it. It tells us where he went, and it was in there. And there's only a few things that you can use the words in there with.
True. And also I think we need to remember about the whole poem that he said, try to simplify if you can. That's good advice. He said that on January 13, 2018 in the Nightline ABC News interview. He said, don't overcook my poem. And he also said, some searchers overrate the complexity of the search. Knowing about head pressures, foot pounds, acre feet, Bible verses, Latin, cubic inches, icons, fonts, charts, graphs, formulas, curved lines, magnetic variation codes, depth meters, riddles, drones, and ciphers will not assist anyone to the treasure location.
That's a lot of words.
That's a lot of words.
Mm-hmm. Okay, simplify. Keep it simple, like these little stanzas that I make the boys, you know. All right. So tell them what we're going to do next time.
Okay, next time, on our next video, we're going to talk about Warm Waters Halt. So don't miss it.
Yeah, and I have a lot to say about that. You know, from the boys are grandsons, you know. That's how I'm approaching this. And it helps too because I'm a big kid myself. So that's why we communicate real good. Real well, sorry.
And Forrest did say in the Moby Dickens interview or Q&A, he said that children have an advantage. So maybe we'll learn about the advantage.
Right. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Okay, well, that's all we have to say about that. And we'll see.
Hey, everybody.
Good luck with your search.
Hey, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right down there. Button.
Bye.
Somewhere. Bye.